Allow me to worship Chukwukika Biama on behalf of the entire family listening right across the length and breadth of this very planet. All of you who are ordained, all of you who are destined to perform wonders, I welcome all of you. Now, I will present you to Chukwukika Biama in heaven. Therefore, our Father who resideth in heavens above, looking down upon the pain and the suffering of your children, as was foretold by those who has gone before us, that a day will come when the world will gang up, when all the children of darkness will congregate to prevail against your children. That time is now. We are in pain. We are in so much suffering that man cannot begin to comprehend it. We ask for your mercy. We ask for you to come and present and provide a way where there is none. We ask you, Chukwukika Biama, we keme amarani mendo muginine the IPOB. Ne beni ne di chiche, we beni ne owasotur. Kiite magi ne belegi bi kobaso ha, upesi ne kendo ha. Okwaso sweli igwe. We call upon you this evening. The vultures are congregating, the saboteurs are rising up. We are beginning to identify them, and we are dealing with them. We ask you to give us the strength. We ask you for courage. We ask you for every ounce of determination and resoluteness. Make us as hard as steel, as only you can do. Baptize us in your word, in your knowledge, in your truthfulness, and in your strength. Make it impossible for our enemies to come close to us. Destroy them before they come very close. We will be tempted, of course. Our defenses will be tried without a shadow of a doubt. Sometimes there may be breaches, but in the end we prevail, because that is your word and that is your promise. This evening we hold on resolutely to that very command of yours. Your own spoken word. The word that you gave to your children when you said to them that they should not worship any idol, they should not bow before any graven image. We have made mistakes in our lives. We have bowed before European idols. We have done everything but worship you in truth and honesty. But now, having realized the errors of our ways, we present ourselves before you, that you may do with us as you please. So it was prayed thousands of years ago. That same prayer will re-echo, because we are nothing without you. We are nothing without you. We can have the best defenses in the whole world. We can procure the finest anti-jamming equipment available. But it is you that will defend your inheritance. You will defend Biafra. You know that we are honest and truthful people. You know that we preach this gospel in the knowledge that your children must be free in the land of the living, that they may go back and worship you in Zion as they have done thousands of years ago. This is our prayer now and always, because we are your children. You can't abandon us to the forces of evil and darkness. That is not your will, and it can never be. That is why today, tomorrow, and always, as you have called us to undertake this very monumental and epic task, as you have determined that your word must be preached in the land, that very land you gave to our ancestors thousands of years ago, so shall it be done in our lifetime. Allow us to be worthy to serve thee. Chukwu Biama, allow us to be considered worthy to serve you. You know we speak the truth. Our enemies are liars. They are cheats and they are killers. They are bloodthirsty bastards, all of them. All of them bar none. They have brought their lies to bear upon all their dealings. Their tongue is very spiteful. against those of them who are righteous before your sight. Please don't allow shame to befall your children. Don't allow shame to befall your name, because we answer your name, we bear your name. That is why today we make this very prayer in the sure knowledge that Biafra will be restored as your own kingdom upon the face of the earth. That you will be worshipped every blessed day of our lives, as our children will do, and so will their children. Until time everlasting we have prayed in your name. Ise, Ise, Ise.
We are here to ensure that the death of 3.5 million people is not forgotten. The reason why we exist is to ensure that their memory, that they can never ever be forgotten, that their memory will linger on forever, that as long as man walks this earth, this world will remember the 3.5 million people that they killed, men and women that did nothing, children that were innocent. Their only crime is to be blessed by God. That is the only crime they have committed. As those children were being slaughtered, as they were being stabbed to death by a very wicked and cruel world, spearheaded by Awolowo, everybody looked on and did nothing. Instead of them to help us, they ensured that our absolute blockade from land, air, and sea was absolute, that we may die, that the children of God may die. But lo and behold, Chukwuabiama determined that we cannot die, that we cannot perish.
This is my message to the world from my broken soul. We keep walking down the road. They killed our mothers, fathers, and our sons. We are light, we are the lights of the world. We come from the land of the rising sun. Every single day we keep rising up. No matter what they do, we are never giving up. This is my message to the world. Embrace Biafra, embrace redemption. We shall win in the end. This is my message to the world. Embrace our freedom, embrace our
are going to work for this land. We are going to work for this land. No matter what them do, we are going to work for this land. We are going to work for this land. Biafra's going to our home. Biafra's going to our home. That is our promised land now. Where we came from, we are going there someday. Them are killing innocent people. Them are killing innocent girls. Them are killing little students. Them are killing innocent people. Them are killing innocent girlfriends. Them are killing little children. Biafra's going to our home. Biafra's going to our home. That is our promised land now. Where we came from, we are going there someday. Listen to these songs, Mr. Ignorance. Listen to the voice, Mr. Hypocrite. No matter what you do, we are going home. Going to the land of the rising sun. Biafra's going to our home. Biafra's going to our home. That is our promised land now. Where we came from, we are going there someday. Over This is a clarion call from Edith of Forces Zone 1 in Abia Province, in the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are in this platform for the restoration of Biafra because we are proud of the land of rising sun. Biafrans are blessed with natural resources, we are blessed with human resources, we are blessed with great technology and so on and so forth. We never call for war, we never call for hatred, we never call for discrimination, but we call for peace, unity, love, freedom, which is our main goal. Biafra is an Asian nation which was earlier colonized by the British in the earlier 18th century. And Biafra nation has been foretold in the prophecies like Nostradamus from Rains back that a powerful prince will arise in the world and the trigger of the gun, that he will be the envy of other princes, and the other prince will try to subdue his arise, but all will be a failure to them. Biafra is an Asian nation that lies along the Atlantic Ocean of Africa with great potential of greatness. Biafra is a nation that will restore peace, liberation, future hope towards our generation. Our predecessors have fought their own, and we present Biafras are not going to relent or surrender to this struggle. We are determined to restore our holy land, which is Biafra, with one voice, one accord, one command, and one agenda, which is Biafra. We all thank Almighty Chukwu Okike Abiyama for his grace, protection, love, care, because we are all alive in the land of the living. God has organized a scheme peace province in Biafra land. Biafra, we are great indeed the kingdom of God here on earth. We also thank our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the great prince and an icon, the liberator of this global struggle of our time, and all the principal of states, coordinators, IGroup family members all around the world. This song is from Casey Joe and Mary from Forces Zone 1 in Abia Province. All and the Chukwu Okike Abiyama bless you all in your say, over there, we are going over there.
Yes, once again, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill, conscious people wherever you are all over the world, I will say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This is Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Radio Biafra London, being anchored by the Deputy Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Mazi Uchu Kafomefo. He is from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State.
and Anambra State is Biafra land. He's the man who have assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. And of course, he's still standing on a deputizing capacity on behalf of our supreme leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the Prince of Afari Ibeku, heir to the throne of Ibeku Kingdom, the one and the only man that stood up to speak for the collective interest of the Biafran people. He is from Afari Ibeku. Afari Ibeku is in Umuahia. Umuahia is in Abia State, and Abia State is Biafra land. And by the special grace of Chukwukika Biama, I am George Unibe. I am from Abo. Abo is in Delta State, and Delta State is Biafra land. As always, we acknowledge the Creator, Chukwukika Biama, the one who has given us the enablement on the pertinent life and the restoration of Biafra. And in my humble way, I will say, Anyị na-aja mao n'ihi na ị mara mma ịhụnanya ene na gị obiọma gị ujuru anya dadi inwe gị mgbanwe ọ dị onye dịka gị ịbụ Alpha na Omega anyị niile na-aja gị mao. And so I welcome you this morning. Without wasting much of our time, we shall be going to our topic this morning, which simply says, if it is our home, then it is worth fighting for. If it is our home that we are fighting for, believe me, it is worth fighting for. A home or a domicile is a living space used as a permanent or semi-permanent resident for an individual, family, household, or several families in a tribe. It is often a house, apartment, or either building, or alternatively a mobile home, houseboat, or any other portable shelter. This is what the home literally may mean. But notice that no matter how simple the definition may be, it talks about space. Space. He said it is a living space. Underline that word. Underline it, space. And he went on to say, in this ordinary definition, it is your home. No matter how neutral it could be. And remember what a home is. But it will amaze you, not everybody understands what home is. When we talk, we say, our father said, my mother said, my father said, my uncle said, my auntie said, my cousin said, my nephew said. This is a sign that you actually have a home. I remember as a child, even as an adult, there is an adage in my place that said, Ibunya polo wa bofia. Ibunya polo wa bofia. Wherever you call your home, you can't say it's a bush. You don't bring your friends home and they say, where do you live? You say, I live in this bush. Of course, you may live in the bush, but you still say to them, this is my home. Whether they call it bush, whether they call it cave, whether they call it dustbin, whatever they choose to call it, that is their business. But for you, it is your home. It is your home. And so in the real sense, we can say the true meaning of home. It could be defined as an enjoyable space, a happy place, where you can live, laugh, and learn. It is somewhere where you are loved, respected, and cared for. Above all, your home, it's a place where you have control over your time and your space. This is what we fight for. This is our home. This is the reason we are here. And then if it's our home, believe me, it is worth fighting for. And if it is worth fighting for, make no mistake about that, it is worth dying for. Believe me, Moses knew this truth. There is no greater gift that God has given to man, as far as life is concerned, that has meaning or makes sense, except a home. He promised us a home here on earth, and in heaven, he promised us a home. Moses was very comfortable in Egypt. Some call him the Prince of Egypt. If he wanted to, he would have been the next Pharaoh of Egypt in his time. But Moses said no. He turned down the riches, the civilization, the power, the glory, the honor. He turned down everything because he knew Egypt can never be his home. He left. He preferred to be a fugitive. He wandered everywhere in the desert. He became a cattle rearer. He was a slave. He went hungry. He went sick. Without a shelter over his head, no roof, no family around him. And then after a decade of journeying, the Bible could say that Moses was simply looking for a city where the maker is God. And I must remind you this morning, for those of you who do not understand the importance of fighting for our home. And Jesus ended his ministry by saying, I am going back and I will come again. Do not bother that I'm going away, because I'm going to prepare a home for you. For in my Father's house there are many mansions. If I go and prepare a place for you, so that where I am, you may be there also. Most of you must not have thought about this. And the children of Israel, despite how much many of them prospered in Babylon, they had only one thing in their mind. And so every evening they gather. Every morning when they wake up, one thing comes to their mind: their home. Their home. And no wonder they sang. No wonder they weep. No wonder they lamented. No wonder they cried about their home. Because they understand the meaning of home. They understand perfectly well what they look for. That is the truth about the whole thing. The children of Israel were prospering in Babylon. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Daniel, and the rest of them. But in all of this, they knew that there is no prosperity without their home. They knew that they will never be respected. They knew that life itself is meaningless without their home. We are here to fight, because it is worth fighting for. Some have died. Many more will have to die. It is our home. But we must understand something about our home and the need why we must fight for our home. The Americans understand the need to fight for their home. They fought, they bled, and today they have a home they can call America. You think every American citizen, that America is a home to them? No, people own America. You can enjoy the comfort of America, but they are just watching you. It belongs to somebody. Do they call them the Caucasians? And then maybe they have people who are caretaker also. They could be Jewish American, they could be British American, but it belongs to somebody. But maybe it was taken from somebody anyway. But whatever that makes them fight for America is because it could be a home to some people who is actually their home. The Japanese have a home. They fought for their home. And most of you will not remember the Chinese War. It was a war that was built. It defies the reasoning of women in their time. But they have to build a war. Building the Chinese War is more than fighting another world war, because it took everything from them just to protect their home. And one will begin to wonder, why would the Chinese, why would they build this war to protect their home? They must know this. I hear people talk about Frankfurt today, but I know that there is no word that made meaning to a German more than that Munich. Or is it Munich? Because on the ground of Munich, somebody came who actually have a different knowledge of what a home is. They fought to be there. You go across Europe, they fought to defend their land. Even when Germany descended on France, they ran to Britain. Even when Britain was about collapsing, they fought back. France took back their land. Britain still maintained their land. The whole of Europe, from Italy to Spain, from Holland to Poland, they understand the meaning of home. Are you talking about the Arabians? The 1,000 years they have been fighting to defend their territory. Till tomorrow they are still fighting. They have everything they need. They keep fighting for their home. You go to Dubai, it belongs to the Arabs. You go to Saudi Arabia, it belongs to the Arab. They have a home. The Indians fought very hard. Today they have a home. You call them Malaysia, Indonesia, they all have a home. This is a home they fought for. There was a reason why they fought for it. Because they fought for it so that the next generation will not be murdered in the street of where you keep them. The next generation will not be murdered in the street of their fathers, as is happening to us today. They fought for their home because it was worth dying for. And when I listen to the statement sometime made by Netanyahu regarding Israelites, he said, we fight to restore the Jewish state so that nobody can kill an Israel man anywhere in the world. And I challenge you today. You kill one Israel man, you will understand the power of home. They couldn't do this when they were being killed in Germany. They couldn't do this because there were times they were being slaughtered across the globe. Their very blood lineage threatened and almost bastardized. But they fought very hard. They were removed from the map. They fought very hard. And today, not only did the capital move from Tel Aviv, the capital is in Jerusalem, the city of the living Creator. They fought for it. They understand the importance. You dare not touch an Israel man today. But they were touching them before because they don't have a home. But will Africans understand the importance of having a home? Does any African country have a home? We truly don't have a home. Any South African man who tell you South Africa is their home and they are doing xenophobia, they are very stupid. They don't have a home. Any Nigerian who is telling you we are Nigerian, Nigeria is our home and the fatherland, you are a bastard because you don't know your father. Lugard is not your father. Flora Shaw is not your mother. Theresa May family, you have no lineage with them. You are not connected to them in any way. You don't understand what we fight for here. Now tenant in our own home. And then you can never enjoy the benefit. No country in Africa has a home. Yes, Africa is our home. It's supposed to be our home, but it's been taken from us. This is not the first time homes will be taken from indigenous people, but many of them fought to get their home back because they know that is the only time they can get their life back. But we are okay, we are satisfied. Let's just be caretaker. It's better. You know the common language of Africa. At all. 9 bad pass. May we never fight for at all. Of course, you may be comfortable wherever you are. You live the American life, live the Chinese life, live the Indian life, live the European life. If you are very comfortable, I tell you, the body of your children will desecrate the street of the global community. For they will be hunted down and nobody will say anything about them. They will be buried like dogs and nobody will say anything. Even right here in our own land. Because we do not control our time and space. This is what we are fighting for. Millions of African youth, majority of them Biafrans, and supposedly zoo called Nigeria. They die in Mediterranean Sea. Their dead body will never come home. Most of them will even be snuffed to death so they can harvest their kidney and their liver. Because we do not have a home. Because we don't have a home. Because we fail to fight for our home. That very comfort zone you have belongs to somebody. And those of us at home, there are some witches and wizards. There are some evil men, supposedly black people, who left their home to take over our home. The Yorubas, the Hausa, the Fulani, they want our home. But what do? Some governors are helping to give them our land out, freely, taking our land by law. And then tell me why they will not kill us in our own land. Rape our mother before our very eyes, because our home is no longer our home. You may not be able to comprehend everything, and certainly we do not expect you to be.
As Major General Philip Effiong officially surrendered to the Nigerian forces in 1970, one would have thought that the genocide against the Igbo race has come to an end. However, that was just the beginning of the agenda to exterminate Igbos from the surface of the earth. For decades after the surrender, Igbos have not just been grossly marginalized, but have also been slaughtered mercilessly at the slightest provocation. This agenda, though known, have been made too obvious by the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration. Latest in this agenda is the indefinite closure of the Akami Biam International Airport in Ibu, which ensures ensure that there is no international airport located in the southeast region. According to the aviation minister, the closure was to repair and upgrade the airport to standard.
We had the radio masts around the airport, which is also safety. But the airport, the runway is short and dilapidated, and they are building.
These claims came after the governor of Enugu State, Right Honorable Dr. Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, foiled all his attempts to downgrade the airport by fixing all the problems earlier identified by the minister, including the demolition of a local unit. However, the aviation minister, who was determined to implement the anti-Igbo agenda, ordered the closure of the airport on the 24th of August 2019. 2 months after the closure, there is no news about the airport again. Hence, Gold City TV crew visited the airport to ascertain the condition of the airport after 2 months of closure.
The shutdown and reconstruction of Akanibia International Airport in Enugu has been an ongoing debate. Gold City TV is here on ground to find out the level of work ongoing here.
The situation we met at the airport was nothing to write home about. There were no contractors on site. Security men were giving strict orders not to allow anyone take a photograph of the place. The workers were also giving strict orders not to talk to journalists, else their jobs would be at stake. The entire airport was increasingly becoming bushy as the potholes widened more and more. Hopelessness was boldly written on the faces of the workers. The Minister of Aviation has continuously assured the masses that the airport will be ready before December.
I am scheduled to deliver in Enugu before Christmas. Christmas choice was because we understood, of course, the importance of Christmas. People go back home.
But December is barely 1 month to go, and no one is complaining. When queried on this, the minister stated that there were no funds available for the airport. This is coming at a time when the terminals of Lagos Airport are being reconstructed with speed, but the federal government has no 10 billion naira for Enugu Airport. These realities have made all stakeholders to accept the fact that the minister is telling the Igbo nation the same lies this Buhari-led administration have been telling labor leaders, academic staff of union of universities, and the entire citizenry since inception. In a meeting with Southeast leaders at the State House recently, the president approved the estimated 10 billion naira for the upgrade of the airport. However, the question on everyone's mind is whether the Buhari administration that is addicted to unfulfilled promises release the funds approved or add it to the backlog of unfulfilled promises like the Ogoni cleanup and others.
Question on the list of Southeasterners is, will the condition of Akanibia International Airport be added to the numerous number of abandoned projects in Nigeria, like the Ajaokuta steel industry?
One thing is certain. The anti-Igbo agenda being ruthlessly implemented by the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration is gathering a lot of momentum. They have denied us good roads and blocked our airways, thereby catching the Igbo nation successfully.
Let nobody deceive you. Our home have been taken already. The governors know this, they will not admit it. Their senators know this, they will not admit it. They are fighting for their bank account. They are fighting for a temporary pleasure, settlement, gravitation of their human loss that endanger the next generation of Biafra. You can't kill a Chinese person, no matter the atrocity. They are causing the whole of Africa. The havoc of Indian and China and Japan and American and Britain all over Africa. You can't even prosecute one of them because they have a home. But you, an African, you, a Biafran, even in your own land, they make law for us. They are bringing Sharia law to us. You can see it. That our home is being taken from us. They control our airspace. They tell us the airport to use and the airport not to use. They tell us the seaport that must function and the one that must not function. They tell us that they must give us Boko Haram policemen everywhere, whether we like it or not. They control our justice system. It looks like our house, but it has been taken from us. No wonder they kill us everywhere we go to, because we don't have a home where we can come back, regroup, replan, and then respond. This is what we fought for. This is what we are fighting for. This is what we continue to fight for, because if it is our home, it is worth fighting for. And if it is worth fighting for, it is worth dying for. Wherever you are today, you will not be free. Not just as an African. I'm not talking to you. If you like, you listen. But I'm talking to you as a Biafran. Not until Biafra is restored, we have no home. Anybody can kill us anywhere, and they will walk away with it. A plane was caught recently, having over 300 children loaded in them. Only God knows where it's going to. That case is not going anywhere. They're going to harness their kidney and liver because we do not have home. Everywhere our children are missing, including America. Millions of thousands of black children have missing. They will never talk about this. It doesn't ring bell on the floor of the Senate because as a black man in Africa, you do not know your home. You have no home. Not to talk of in Nigeria, in America. Not to talk of in China, in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai. Because we do not have home. If they must respect us, we must rebuild our home. If the killing of our people will stop, we must rebuild our home. We must control our time and our space. This is all we ask for. This is all we are here to do. That they may value our lives. This is all we represent. Our fathers fought to keep it. British fought to take it away from us. It is either left for us to make sure that we fight and restore back our fatherland. Our fatherland, that is our fatherland. Our home where we will be respected. Be treated as a child and a son of the family and a daughter of the home that we are. Not slaves in our own home. Not servants in our own home. Do you get it? Do you understand it? Where our right to self-determination will not be considered as treason. Where saying the truth will not be a hate speech. One useless president of France came to Nigeria and insulted the whole Africa. And said Africa is poor because they are having so many children. But Africa is not poor because France and IMF will control our money and resources. Africans is poor because France steals billions from Africa annually. But they insult us because we do not have a home, or rather we give our home to them. Britain come here to tell us how to live our life, whereas our father predated their father. They know nothing about culture. They know nothing about civilization. They know nothing about development. They know nothing about humanitarian. They know nothing about who they are. But they are the one teaching us moral. People who know nothing about moral. And they will tell you, hey, because you are Nigerian. And some of you are listening to those lunatics to tell you how your life will be. Because our homes have been taken from us. We don't have the home. I tell you, all the countries that I have seen in the world, none of them have the moral right to talk down on us, to step down on us, to dehumanize us, to frustrate us, to marginalize us, to emasculate us, to kill us, turn us to lab experiment animals anywhere they want and do to us anything because we do not have a home. A home is a place where we study. A home is a place where we are being groomed. A home is a place where you will be respected. A home is a place where you can come back and plan for the future of your people. A home is somewhere where you can be rest assured that the future of the next generation is secured. Today, they teach us how to live, where to sleep, when to drive, whether we have road, whether they will be drinking water, whether our children will go to school. They control us in every way. And then we do not have a home. If Fulani will come out and tell me that checking point must be everywhere in my land, then why do you think the American policeman, the British policeman will not kill you and dump your dead body in the dustbin? If Boko Haram can kill you and somebody who says your senator, we ask you to go and pray to God. And then tell me if we truly have the mind to talk to anybody who is out there killing our people. If truly they can tell us that, yes, we can have seaport in our land. Tell me why even Benin Republic will not tax you double. Tell me why they will not close the border against you. But it's our home, but yet not our home. Do you think it is not worth fighting for? Do you think it is not worth dying for? If it's our home, believe me, it is worth fighting for. And if it is worth fighting for, it is worth dying for. Our message is simple. And not until that is done, absolute and total control of our life, we will make sure all of you who want to take our home from us, you will feel our pain. You will feel our pain. It is a promise. I'll be back in a minute.
This is my song for freedom. They call me Chris Jockey. Even though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I fear no evil, for still God is always with me. Yeah, He's always with me. And the sun will rise, my brothers will be coming home. Yeah, we made it through the sun to home. We gave our blood to redeem our land, and the time is too late. So join me, let us get it now. We're happy happiness we all rejoice. Cause we are the children of God. I am talking about the holy land, yeah, where God will always reign, and the sun will shine again. So we the people rejoice, yeah, where no one will tell me, yeah, that my song is suicidal, that I will lose my life for singing songs, where there is freedom of speech. Mr. Mepho will remind us that we are children of the Most High God. In Jerusalem we meet again, yeah, because we are the children of God. And the sun will rise, my brothers will be coming home, yeah. We made it through the sun to home. We gave our blood to redeem our land, and no time is too late. So join me, let us get it now. For happiness we all rejoice. Yes, we are the children of God. We are praying for the moment, yeah, when heaven will come for us, and the world will talk about us, so no one else has to die. All this nation will respect us, yeah. Understand we just wanna go back home. No amount of gun can stop the show, yeah, cause we all got possessed, and the spirit is in me. My director will return home, yeah. Show us love we used to do before. Beautiful faces I will see again, yeah. We need you, we miss you, and we wait on you. And the sun will rise, my brothers will be coming home, yeah. We made it through the sun to home.
Yes, we are looking up to that time when the sun will rise and our brothers and sisters, all of them will come home. We understand it's going to take time for many of them to be able to feel at home, but it really doesn't matter. Our home is our home. And if God willing, we will build our home. And then all our children will be comfortable, no matter how small it is, no matter how backward it may be, but we will be happy that this is our home. They told you Enugu Airport, they have to close it down because the road is bad. I was Fulani telling us the first contract of late Buhari, the first thing late Buhari did was to shut down Delta State Airport. And so that Anambra man cannot use it. And he told them that the runway is very narrow. But this is an airport that was constructed and never be used for once. Just been commissioned few days before he was rigged into power by Obama, former president of America. The first thing he did was to shut it down, to make sure you don't take anything there. Go there, Fulani works there. We must take our life back. Or else, those of us at home, we will not be saved. Those of you out there, your children will not be saved. Because they will always remember them, that they are not from that place. There will always be limitation to their right as human. They can kill us anywhere in the world and walk away freely. After all, they killed you in South Africa. Jubilee went to appreciate them. They kill you in Ghana. Nigerians will appreciate them. Nigeria is the only country that constantly appreciates the world for killing us Biafrans, because our home is taken from us. I tell you, if you do not understand why we are here, I'm sorry, we can't help you. We can't help you. Once again, I want to remind you, as a musician, a producer, those of you who produce Biafran music, those of you who sing and write Biafran music, send your data to our WhatsApp line. Those of you who are Biafrans and you are not identified with IPOB yet, send your data to our WhatsApp line. We will direct you to the closest coordinator. We must restore our home. It looks impossible, but that is how it always looks impossible. But go and check the spelling of impossible. It will amaze you, because it simply says, I'm possible. I'm possible. Impossible. It's just I am. Move that I am away from the possible. It simply says, I'm possible. You change your mindset. We understand the magnitude, the size, the capacity of those who want to take our home from us, and yet we are weak. Believe me. We don't have nuclear warhead. Believe me. If we can't even stand them. This is the most encouraging part of it all. But we will make them understand that they can never. For us free men who want their home back, who want to control their time and space, we will accept the balance. And this is one mystery that will elude them. But then Biafrans must wake up and understand why we do what we do. You can't tell me you have oil in Bayelsa and no single Bayelsa person know how crude oil look like. It all belongs to Hausa people, and they come out on the pages of newspaper and tell you that oil in Bayelsa belong to Jigawa. You can't tell me that nonsense. That one Alamajiri Barawo Dampaza is going to come down there and tell you that the DP of police that controls my community is going to be a Boko Haram, and you keep quiet over it. But we are going home. It is because our home is taken. At home, saboteurs are chasing us everywhere. Gossipers and instigators are chasing us everywhere. At home, because there is no justice system that will try them. And then outside our home, the real criminals are chasing us and calling us criminal. Because we don't have home. When you touch an Israel man, you will know he comes from somewhere. When you touch an Arabian man, you will know they come from somewhere. When you touch an American man. In fact, I remember during the bomb blast in Lagos then, as a result of the negligence of the Boko Haram that called themselves army, they were expired grenade in their armory. They didn't service it. Millions of people died. I remember America even sent plane to pick their citizens in Nigeria to go back to America if they wish. These are Nigerians who just have American passport. They brought plane to pick them. What do they call it that time? Is it Virgin Atlanta or Virgin Airline? They brought it to pick them. And so even in Nigeria that has that American passport, looks like they are in heaven already. But here in our own land, they are killing us and massacring us. But it won't always be like that until we get our own back. Like the Israel did. It was almost impossible for them, but it's possible. We must get our own back. Paula and WhatsApp, are you there? And of course, before I receive your call, caller, WhatsApp a minute. Our direct line is 081-221-52971. 081-221-52971 is our direct number, and the special number for the female is 081-288-58614. Special number for the female is 081-288-58614. Caller on WhatsApp, are you still there?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. Go ahead, please. Your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, fellow Biafrans. My name is Obimane Chibike. I'm from Umbudi, who lives in Oru, under the province, Biafra land. But I'm calling from Elat, Israel. Mazi, you are talking this morning. If it is our home, it's worth fighting for. Mazi, we live in a world where human being doesn't have conscience anymore. Where nuclear weapon is respected more than people who have human conscience, who have humanity in them. Mazi, if you want to be respected as a country in this world today, you have to rush and acquire a nuclear weapon. Then America, all the countries in the world will respect you. Like the president of South Korea, Kim Jong-un. Any world leader, that guy call a phone that he want to meet the person will run after him and go and meet him because they know that he has what it takes. They know that he has what they have. Man, coming to talk of our home, I call it our inheritance. I call it our inhabitants. People are planning how to go and live in the moon. Some are planning how to go and live in the Jupiter. But we are not going anywhere. We leave that place where God put us. We did not choose to be there. We did not choose our forefathers to born us in that land. So it's our home. We inherit it, and we inherit it forever. And that reminds me what is worth dying for and what is worth fighting for. In the Bible tells us about Naboth and his vineyard. When King Ahab wanted to take over his vineyard, and Naboth said to him, God forbid, I will not leave my ancestors, what I inherited from my ancestors, to you. And Jezebel plotted and killed Naboth. And what happened thereafter? The Bible tells us what happened after. So, Mazi, it is time. And this is worth dying for. It's worth fighting for. Inheritance, what inherited for your forefathers, it's worth fighting for. Even if it's a stone that your ancestors leave for you, you have to fight for it so that you will leave it for your children. Because if they take it away from you, there's nothing you leave for your children. So it's worth dying for. Then, Mazi, I want to ask you this morning and my fellow Biafrans. I want to ask, when is the best time, when is the best age to resist and fight for your rights? Because sometimes if I meet people, I'm talking to them about Biafra. So we said, I'm not married. I have not raised my children. Then those that are married will say, my children has not known me. I have not trained my children. Who will train my children? They kill me. Then those who have trained their children will be telling you, I have not received anything from my children. Then those that have received something from their children will tell you, I'm old. It's left for you, the young one. So I used to ask, when is the right time to fight? When did our ancestors...
The reason why our people begin to respond that way is that there have been a generational shift. They have been a generational shift. They actually reprogrammed us. They actually changed our orientation and mindset. It is amazing when you talk about most of the people we talked about in terms of personality profile yesterday. If you look at Akanebiam, these are small boys. These are small boys. These terrorists, Buhari terrorists, Gowon terrorists, Babangida terrorists, Obasanjo, all these people terrorizing Africa, they were small boy with strength, power, but they lack dignity. But these people made sure they shift the generation from today. Your village, if care is not taken, your youth president is almost 60 years. Because mine look like 79 years now. And then when will I become a youth? When will I be functional? And then when they are old, they are only very good as a puppet for British government to manipulate. And they call themselves elders. That is what they say. British will say their elders have spoken. But there have been a generational shift, I must tell you. That is why it is like that. There is no better time to fight for your home. No better time to fight for freedom than now. Today is the future we've been looking for. Today is that future we've been looking for. Some people were crying of tomorrow. Today is the tomorrow you have been crying for. And if care is not taken, I mean, it is going to be another tomorrow you want to cry for. We will soon be there. It is now or never. And we are not relenting. It doesn't matter. We are here to re-engineer them back to their normal state of life. That as king and princess they are, they can be able to function. It's amazing. Somebody is 40 years old. He's not yet married because no money, because their orientation has changed, because one nonsense thing is running in their brain. Because they think that you are able to pay for a house in Banana Island as a Biafran man. Doesn't make Lagos your home. If you have the best house in Abuja as a Biafran man, it can never be your home. One lunatic Erufai will come down one day, they will demolish it. But I tell you, most of us, our house mud house built by our grandmothers and fathers, they are still standing in the village. Most of them we've not been here for years. And when you get there, nobody trespasses because it is your home. And if you trespass, somebody will remind you that place you are going to. Who are you? You can't be there, and you're going to receive phone call, and that person will be addressed adequately. But look at our land. Fulani men are the one who decide what happened here. But here there are people who are saying governance and this and that because their mind, their brain have been. There is a generational shift, I must tell you. Of course, we still have our youth very brilliant and doing well in school. But when they graduate, even at the age of 16, some of them have graduated from the university. Nigeria will help destroy their career. They will destroy their career and make sure that majority of them will run to Europe and wash toilet and do many job available to them. And then the rest that will remain here will drive keke and pepe, and all their life they dream dreams that will never be. But if we do not have our home back, we are gone as a people. And this we will not allow. We will never. Go ahead, please, my brother.
Yes, but you have said it all. There's no better time to fight than now. All hands must be on deck. Whether you're a father, whether you're an old man, know where and how to start your own. All hands must be on deck. A slave has no life. We are all like slaves to the Hausa and Fulani. We have no life. Any day they choose to take our life, they will take us. So it's better we stand up and fight for our life. It's worth dying for and it's worth fighting for. Thank you very much, Mark. God bless you.
We must continue. Call on the line. Are you there? That is the challenge. Call on the line, your name and where are you calling from? Call on the line. Of course, we're a epileptic network, but we must continue. If it's our home, believe me, if it is our home, then it is worth fighting for. Are you there? Call on the line.
Hello.
Good morning from here. Go ahead, please, your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from my brother. Hey, you could man at the time. One look at them from Lagos, one man, but Maga, Lagos. That's my independent and then the Bible. I'm not gonna pack. I pack some of father twice in the Bible never. You get the ambition, then I refuse to see and whatever my next to the right. I think that because of my candidate, I Lagos, I did the right ever. I don't know the direct stuff. You do on the more worse side than worse than before. So my brother is sick and then they look to go on this summer and I don't know going where I don't know Bible, not I know. You
see, the truth is, like what our brother has just said, it is December. Our people will come home. They have destroyed your airport. And now you are going to enter Los Zeros, belonging to one of our own. And now the Fulani and the Yoruba are there. They are carrying knife and tearing bag of rice to find out if it is imported rice. Do you think if we have a seaport somewhere in Bayelsa, somewhere in River State, somewhere in Cross River State, somewhere in Delta State, that one Fulani man will come to that river seaport in Anambra State and bring a knife and start tearing your bag of rice? You do not understand. Lagos is not your home. That is why Oba of Yoruba, that criminal will tell you he will push inside the ocean. Abuja is not your own. That is why they can give you quick notice and say get out of our northern Nigeria. And our home is not our home because they still want to control what happens there. And I hope you understand. Are you there, caller on the line?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning from here. Your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Anishi. Anishi, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How was your night?
Of course, God is faithful. Go ahead, please.
Very difficult, Sabiama. Now, I know that you are on air this morning. But to be believe that you and Omamberias, you are in this difficult state. You cannot listen to Radio Biafra. For instance, since yesterday evening, it is not last evening, from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. this morning, I was busy listening to Radio Biafra. But immediately you are about to go ahead, the radio was totally cut off. What we are listening to is that radio are complaining about Magic station, which is 102.9. So they are disturbing us so much, they are fighting us so much, which is their bypass and vagabond attitude. So we need help here in Anambra. We hardly listen to Radio Biafra here, please. You people should do something about it. Okay, 102.1 and 102.2 is a thing of fact. That one is a thing of fact. That one is old school. We no longer have signal on it. Separate of tree. So we should do something about it for us, please.
Thank you very much. Your complaints are noted, and I believe the appropriate authorities are listening to it. Thank you very much, my sister.
Okay, another thing, please. This morning, doctor, please can you please repeat it in the evening so that we and whether we will hear it for tomorrow morning.
Actually, that is a promise I cannot make you, but if you have access to Radio Biafra Facebook page, you will get this broadcast there because it is stored there.
You know, I thought that person that called you earlier was it January or February? Blind woman.
Okay, I understand.
So I cannot operate on those platforms you mentioned, except this Radio Biafra.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll see what we'll do about it, my sister.
Okay, sir.
Well
then Elohim continue to bless you and blessing you more and more.
Thank you.
May Elohim bless our leader. May he guide and protect all the ways of his life. Including our deputy leader, my baby, the people who come from me for. May Almighty continue to bless them, bless you people, guide and protect you all. We all will live and see Biafra. We will not die, but we will live to see Biafra. The mighty name of Yahushua on the back of Nazareth.
You see, thank you very much. We must continue. And there is no two ways about it. It is simple. Our home should be our home. Not Fulani home, not ours. Are you there, caller on the line? Good morning from here.
Good morning for Zukon to Natural State.
Go ahead,
my name is Mazi Almoka from Iramufu, that is Suzo province. My sister, my brother, I want to thank you. I'm waiting that call this one because this is called this woman. See somebody say no, see how we love Biafra. Now come on, our governors, our senators, just did that place they watch what they happen for our Biafra land. As your deputy this morning, see my brothers. See issue of airport, no road, nothing. All love they keep quiet, my brother. I shame for these people. These people. They took out to Kabbalah and destroy these people. Because as these people don't value us, no people can never value them, my brother. My brother, good morning. Continue. God bless your heart.
Thank you very much. We are going home. Are you there, caller on WhatsApp? Caller on WhatsApp.
Yeah, Mazonibe. Yes, Mazonibe, I am here.
Good morning from here. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, my brother. Good morning, my mentor, Mazonibe, my comrade, my only man in Africa that is making us proud here as we are here in abroad. May Chukwu Kabiama bless you and bless all the Biafrans and those that are facing the battle in Biafra land. I really appreciate everything and I love all my people all over the world and I wish that they understand the topic of today. We don't have a home, we need to have a home first. Our people said in Igbo language that and from the home, we will know our problem. God bless you as you bring in this topic that is making our people to wake up more. My name remains Mazugo Kechukwu Nwanendibo. We are here to restore our land, not to gossip. If you haven't joined IPOB, wherever you are, all those people that still claiming that they are Biafran but they are not IPOB, you are our problem.
because IPOB is you are IPOB. We don't need to be bringing sentiment in what we are doing because we love ourselves and we need to put it in practice. IPOB have been trying and making sure that is everybody, every continent understand our problem at home. What are you waiting to join IPOB? IPOB, what's doing that is not making you to be proud and join. IPOB have suffered and died and do a lot of things to show you that we are ready to restore peace in our land. I urge my people in the home to continue to follow in the direction of the principal officers in Biafra land. Don't listen to outside talk. We are marching. We are coming. Very soon, you will know that God is in this trouble. I thank all the people that is fighting for this struggle. Started from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu down. All of us are on ground. All of us are on decks, working as we can. After everything, Chukwu Kadema will be the person that will liberate our land because what we are facing is spiritual, not physical. Mazi Onibe, I will stop here. I say, may God bless you. And I pray that is what you're preaching today will enter many people's mind and many people's life, and they will wake up and all of us will go together because united we achieve. Thank you and God bless you and remain blessed.
Yes, sir, caller on the line. Good morning from Yada.
My name is Dr. calling from Yada. I'm a Canadian young man in Alani. I had a walk with one, the massacre to 45 my very over the town. Confounding the Anaco, a formerly Anaco over town with opportunity to say, Mother, your man up on the we are going home, we are not going anywhere. Biafra is our land. I have one down, I have one Europe. Now saying you're not used to, you're not used to one liar. Because in the doubt that there was a problem, I said, because I had the I cannot find a bank, maybe die. Imagine you need to teach. I said, I had one, I had to peace. We need peace here. We are not one Nigeria. We don't know we are products. We are products, you know. I cannot yet say one Nigeria. Someone now one Nigeria.
Whenever they are telling you, oh, we are one Nigeria, when you hear that from Yoruba, they are mocking at us. When you hear that from Hausa Fulani, they are mocking at us. Because one Nigeria, they tell us in our own street to raise up our hand when we come out from our compound. We are one Nigeria.
We are one Nigeria. We are brothers. We are brother and sister. The same great or great also. You know what you're saying? That the same go to great also. We are one Nigeria. There is no one Nigeria with us. I'm a Nimana, and then for Niri Malam, Omara Maro, I won't tell them, Otaramano, even soon, the Cheremo, Aranamu, and then soon, the Cheremo, Aranamu. Mother, other dragon man, for dragon money, dragon manu, the dragon matata, for dragon mana for the people to have them about taking and I'm going to know what thing to do. Good, you must land the can. Let's get our deputy that drone on Mana to Kabia.
See, thank you very much. We must continue. Caller on WhatsApp, are you there?
I'm there. Good morning.
Good morning from here. Go ahead, your name and where are you calling from?
Very good. I'm Ifeanyi Felix Naman from Enugu. Enugu is in Biafra land, Kano East, that I'm living at Onitsha. Today is a great day to be in this line. I've been calling the line for a long time whenever I'm listening to your program. But I thank God for giving me the opportunity today to speak with Lord Biafra. That's all you want. See me, can I come to look at the road on the line? Because now I'm on the Biafra on the Biafra like the people. I'm a papa phone on that. Observing 7 months in the car, can I be chinking the blue line? Or who make the money you got over now? Because I may work today because of not attending. I may work today because of not of you. I'm not attending. Since the starting of this middle Biafra, I don't think I have ever lose even with the listen to this program. But I thank God so much for you. And I pray that you will have that the God of you are all of you. So, he said, my brother, the topic you bring today is yes, the topic you bring today is very, very important. No place like Europe. If I were, look at the man calling Obiano for the album of Anambra State. That man is a disgrace to be manhood. There's nothing happening in Anambra State. I've lived in Anambra State for more than something years now. I came to Anambra State in 1988 today, which is 31 years. All the local governors that come and gone, I know all of them. But for this one, they are causing problems here and there for people. There's nothing is moving now. Anaba said he came out yesterday and announced that he's going to build airport for 18 months. Where did he have that ability to do that? Look at our own governor of Enugu State. They kidnapped a reverend father at the Soka, his own dad yesterday. Look at what happened day before yesterday in the Enugu Agate. Flaming's men gathered in a junction forest there, carry AK-47 with the Enugu Agate, are kidnapped 4 men. Later, vigilante people correct that people and they leave the Flaming. You know that it's how many people that came and they rescued them. They still don't Flaming expect. Right problem. But God Almighty, the creator of heaven and earth, will set us free, and we must be free with them. I pray that. So let God guide you people, protect you people, and make a way we get to know whether you people. That's my own prayer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We must continue. Caller on the line. Your name and where are you calling from? Caller on the line. Monitoring Spirit. Good morning from here.
I will continue to ask you to bless you because nobody can be like you. Who will do this for their part? Therefore, it's all over the world. Go to the mirror and look at yourself and ask yourself one question. Is our leader, Mazen Namdekano, the savior of the whole world, not even Biafra? He's my savior, the savior of my wife, my children. They even that generation to come. He is their savior because after today, there will be nobody like us. That is what he said. I will remember to protect what he has done for us. Nobody can be like you, Nobody on this planet Earth. And nobody can be like our deputy. When Matthew chapter 4 was broadcasting, 7 o'clock in the evening, every day he will broadcast. Today, the Biafra is 24 hours on. Nobody. Biafra, please listen. I want you people just to take this picture. If we lose this our land, that every nation of the world has conspired to take from us, where will we stay? See, you will wake up in the morning from your house. Then you will hands up. That is exactly where they are going to. You will just wake up from your house, even if you're in your village. Then you just see people holding God before you hands up your hands. We are all gone. But we refuse to see that. Even if we do got our land, our institution that will defend our land, because club will never raise the man. It is the man that will raise the club. Biafra land has already been there. For us, our ancestors, Libya, they don't even go to comfort for 20 years without anything. So today we have all the steps to break. Our need is only second. Today, the United Nations has acknowledged our suffering. EU has acknowledged. They will not say they have not acknowledged it, and they will not continue to embarrass our leader to end up a second. That is why you must go to try IPO radio, so that any day our leader come out and say we should just carry on with order. We should do our dance. We stop. Trump here, the president of America. Putin here, the president of Russia. Natasha here, the president of our prime minister of Israel. We are Biafra here in our land. The Asian people. We are the people have taken our glory and for us and we are coming back. Our fucking Junaka. To hope Biafra take note of this. Instead, Biafra will not be restored. The whole world will shut down. This is what I said because I am on the back of my leader. Even if it is 1% of that, we must stop Biafra. All of us are Biafra. Let the man told you, but not. Even if you should have found the taker, just came over to Karama to Halai.
Biafra, thank you very much. Are you still there, caller on WhatsApp?
Yes, my brother George Onibe.
Good morning, sir, from here.
Onyoma Chineke tere mmano. The anointed man of God. You know, my greetings to you this morning. The fearless lion with a limitless life. Oga Drege Ma 24/7. Again, a family again. I just want to comment IPOB. Because of Radio Biafra. Radio Biafra. You know, when I started listening to Radio Biafra a few years back, our people sounded uncoordinated. They were wavering. But today, every caller is sounding like a final year student. We give glory to God for that. Our people are now far more enlightened because of what? Radio Biafra. Our people are now far more educated because of what? Radio Biafra. There wanna pay. if they know what is coming on to them. Our people are angry now. Just listen to every caller. They are speaking sense. Every caller is speaking sense, which we did not have before. We now know what is going on. We now know how much we've been marginalized. We now know how much we've been cheated because of what? Radio Biafra. There's no going back. Anybody, every Biafran that is not partaking in this struggle, that is not contributing to this struggle, that Zik is even better than them. Knowing what is going on now, I urge all Biafrans to please support this struggle. Let us go home. Let us go home. Any Biafra wanting to go Japan. That is what we're heading for. We're tired of suffering. How many years now? 50-something years of independence. Yet nothing is moving. Look at the filth in Aba of those days. People are trading upon massive filth. Some poor children without even shoes trying to sell oranges. It's absurd. It's absurd.
On a daily basis, they go down by the bullet of drunk policemen. On daily basis.
It's absurd. I was watching something on the internet the other day. They were lining women with children and shooting them. Human beings have become shooting targets. Where they practice how to shoot targets. And they were falling down and dying. What kind of a country is this, my brother? What kind of a country is this? I feel ashamed to identify myself with this kind of cannibalism that is going on in the zoo. I feel ashamed. It's not right. It is not right at all. God gave us life. What kind of nonsense is this? What kind of Islamization agenda is this? These people are drunk in blood. And they will drown in blood. Man say, I greet my leader. He's a very intelligent man. If it's not, I will not follow him. I greet the deputy, Mokike Uchemefo, another intelligent man. And I greet every one of you for your loyalty. To this hierarchy of leadership. There are some people it will be, they say, after all, the Kali is a human being. Let me go and start my own thing. Many of them tried and they failed anyway. But every one of you, Mazi Jonathan, my African rep yourself, Mazi Alozie, you guys are great. You guys are another breed of Nigerians that gives us hope. You have given Biafra hope. We didn't have hope before. I knew all this when I was growing up, but there was no solution. And with that drained our hope. With that drained our aspiration. With that drained, our level of achievement. But today, every Biafra can't move because of what you guys are doing. So please, I know that this is a selfless effort, but it's a selfless effort with a magnified result from the way our people are now standing. May God continue to bless every one of you. May God continue to bless every one of you. Every one of you that is engineering this struggle. May God continue to bless your people because you have given us hope. There is hope now. There is now light at the end of the tunnel. And anybody that cannot see it is living in cuckoo land. Our people, God bless you all, my brother. God bless our leader. God bless Mokike Uchemefo and every one of you that is engineering this struggle. Thank you, sir. God bless you.
Thank you very much. We must continue. Are you there, caller on the line?
Yeah, my brother.
Good morning from here. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Thank God for speaking my call today. First of all, let me thank you for what I've been doing for just for Biafra. So that's why I did a massive maintenance. That's why I did a massive choke up my phone. I all life my brother did journey there. I finished Kokama. He was the strength and the knowledge and the wisdom to restore Biafra in the mighty name of Chukwu Biafra. I thought Biafra who is working as supposed to restore Biafra. I finished Kokama be with us, give us everything, the knowledge to restore Biafra in the mighty name of Chukwu Biafra. Yeah. My name is Chosen. I'm calling from Abaga. Abaga is in the Mamba is in Tikota. My brother, that was sister that called from Newi. I want to remind that if you want to get a Biafra in Anambra, like one who is going to search for getting a Biafra, if you want to get a Biafra, when you try 103.1, if you didn't get 103.1, you try in 102.1. If you didn't get 102.1, then you try 102.9. As I'm now listening to you, line 102.1, 102.9. If 102.9 does not say, I try 103.9. I got Radio Biafra in these two stations. So if she didn't get 102.9, she tried 103.9. She must get Radio Biafra there. So what I want to say this morning, my brother, your topic today is very good because as I was here telling people to come and join IPOB, people to come and do Biafra. They are saying you're a stupid person. They are saying you're somebody who doesn't have job to do. But I told them, because I remember when I was in a small boy, when I say very small, my dad was one of the most people. They know him very well. So when they will be gathering to do their meeting, I don't know what carried me. I came in their midst. When I come in their midst, I told them, this thing that did for me is also a question of time. Like the man that will restore Biafra has never come. And when he comes, I will join him. So our leader to come, our past celebration is not today. That's why I joined our leader. So I urge everyone to support our leader, hold our leader bomber to bomber, because he's the man who is going to restore Biafra. No one else. That's why I don't joke with our leader. I don't play with our leader.
Thank you very much.
Because he's the man that does. As the God has sent for us to restore Biafra. So my brother, I'm thanking you for your program. Keep it up and keep it on. God will bless you and your family. God will be with you and your family.
Thank you.
Keep it up and keep it up. We are with you. There's no going back.
We must continue.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Happy New Year. Happy Christmas. Happy New Year. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, sir.
Go ahead.
I am a this is all I see my love with another. I never have a family of and never know. You want to make it all Biafra all over the world. Try to how to Toma. Who doesn't get on? Oh, Bia. In the woman, I don't mind. I say, we go to China at the bottom of the million. Every woman, we want to have my phone. I saw my phone. We got this. Our leader, onye ndu ngozi Chineke derege abara Chineke bara goba usoro ọkọ ana m ekele go onye ya ga-akpọ gị na ngozi ngozi derege nna ugwu wise man oge niile ana m gando onye si na ọ bụ ya hapụkwa nwere ọba nwere n'ebe ino ka m na-aghara ịzụ ọkwa na ọba ọzọ ngozi derege ụmụnwaanyị n'ime nwaanyị Biafra ihe ọma na-adị mma gbara ya niile gburugburu asịrị m ngozi dịrị unu niile anyị anawago Nigeria bye and declare go Biafra go ama m na ọdị ndị UN na ha dị n'ọnụ ikwu Biafra go anyị anago bụ na ya anago asị nke a ga-eme gị
Thank you. And you are welcome. Thank you very much. And then call on the WhatsApp. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here, Amazon.
Go ahead. Good morning from here.
Yeah, Amazon, good morning. Which group can bless you? Bless all the Amazon, Nandakan, and our deputy Mazushim before, and all Biafrans from the diaspora. May God Almighty keep all of us alive until we restore Biafra in our time. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray, amen. Amazon, I think what you said this morning touched me so much. It's like you enter my heart and see how I'm feeling this period before giving this message this morning, because now December period and I know the pressure we are facing here. We are facing. My name is Mr. Chukwudi. I'm coming all the way from Switzerland. I know what we are facing here in Europe, not only in Europe, once all over the world. Once you are not in your home, you'll be facing pressure, difficulty, insult, so many things that we show you. Sometimes even the people here will tell you, go home and prepare your place and stay in your place. They say it open to you. But now, December is now at hand. So if you come at my home now, somebody, a refugee from Mali, that will we stay in my compound, in my village, in my state. He is the one to decide if I go in.
They will search your bag to tell you the items to take home and the items not to take home.
Yeah. They are the one to decide if I will put light in my house or not, if I will put running water or not, if I will put, that means I don't have a home. Here I'm a stranger. I'm a refugee here, and at my home too, I don't have home. And the so-called elders will stay there and tell me to keep quiet. That is normal. So-called governors, senators, and representatives, I don't know who they are representing. They will tell me to keep quiet. That is normal. That if I come at a place so-called my home, I will decide not to. The chief judge in my state is a Fulani man. Then the DPO, the police commissioner, all of them are Fulani man. A Fulani man will decide if I can build a house in my family or not, if I will build road in my family. And all the time they say no, that he cannot build it, he cannot do this, he cannot do this. Somebody from 2000 away that cannot write his land throw me too much anger. What concern me and Flanima? How can Flanima decide my future? Jobs like what Ahmad Bello said, that they can never allow us to decide our future, to achieve our future. They will make sure that we cannot have say over our future. This is what they are doing. And so-called leaders in Biafran lands, they are there watching, telling us to keep quiet. We cannot keep quiet. We must take this battle to anywhere. Because I have children, I'm sometimes going to cry. How can I take my children from here in Switzerland and go and hand them over to refugee, to from Sudan, from Mali? Can they to take control of them? It's impossible. I cannot do that. We must restore Biafra in our time, so that these children we have here will come home and enjoy their fatherland. I will not bring them home and hand them over to refugee from Mali to be taking control of. They can't even accept it to be under the refugee control, to be control of refugee from Mali. They cannot take it. So thank you so much for your message this morning, and I pray very soon we will restore Biafra in our time.
Of course.
May God bless you.
And bless you too.
May God bless all Biafrans. God bless you.
Thank you very much. We must continue. This is where we'll be drawing the curtain on this morning segment. Understand that if Biafra is our home, it has been taken already, just that we are still here. We have not been misplaced. Our name has been wiped out, the color southeast, south, up line, river line, bottom line. But it's good. It is not too late. If it is our home, believe me, it is worth fighting for. And if it's worth fighting for, and then you understand it is worth dying for, until it becomes our home, until we control our time and space, Nigeria will know no peace. And shame and disgrace will be the embodiment of any country, anywhere in the world that gets involved. And so you should see how shameful and disgraceful you are anytime you are speaking about the territorial integrity of Nigeria or the sovereignty of the zoo called Nigeria. You will understand you are a scam, you are a clown, you are a disgrace to humanity. I must tell you this. But we are going home, of course, whether you like it or not, because this is all we have asked for, that we might be the author of our destiny. As I sign off from here, Biafrans, go about your lawful job wherever you find yourself. Do me side, temporarily anyway, because that is not your home. Let your heart be at home. Goodbye for now, and be good.
Don't pray, Victor. No. Freedom. Na udoka inario. Anya toni hip hop para menu. Aye bonde Biafra bonde judo na aga. Obisi makiro makeju na aga do. Oga de kwa rai na ma. Omo Biafra tekene. Biafra na sako. Ibo wen madano. Ibo wen madano sako. Omo Biafra de. Biafra na sako. No. Ibo wen madano sako. Ejinegu mekine tibuna dikano. Otogota denema, oyeze no tolodema. Opande solo giline nuwa, akologo bilata. Oposisi bolotolo, endese kono mapere. Opanye mano no dugo, odo nebema, okoko nyaru. Anachua yoso, oze kwese likuni, oke tikwe no kono gachi. Dike kandi kipu na London, dike kandi kipu na Israel. Dike kandi kipu na Russia. Dike kandi kipu na India. Dike kandi kipu na Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu. Dike kandi kipu na Biafra. Nzobu. Nzobu. Anyị ga-azọbu ndị ilo. Nzobu. Ụmụ Igbo niile tekene.
When you will like kisses and you know see Sale, when you will like get you no chupo pick up your man. When you give God what belongs to him, and kisses what belongs to him. As we seek for peace and humanity, it's not at all for vanity. There are once people is killing each other. I want to wipe my blood down. I could get in the middle. I get in the middle. Nzobu.
This is my message to the world from my broken soul. We keep walking down the road, they killed our mothers, fathers and our sons. We are light, we are the lights of the world. We come from the land of the rising sun. Every single day we keep rising up. No matter what they do, we are never giving up. This is my message to